Welcome everybody to what episode are we on, Tim?
55?
55 of They Cast from the Coast. My name is Adam Miles, and I'm joined as always by Tim Johnson, Josh Lambert, and David Miles. And today, a very special celebrity guest. We are talking to the wonderful Jennifer Banko.
Oh,
Yay!
you guys are
Yay! Jennifer, we have you on the show today
Yes.
because we have talked recently with Miss Deborah. He's another delight that we enjoyed talking with.
I love her.
And we love her to death. We've been glowing ever since talking with her. And we contributed into the 13 Fanboy, and because we're excited to see this go. And she was like, who else do you want to talk to? And we said, who do you got to throw at us? And your name came up and we're like, yes, Jennifer, put her on. So absolutely. Thank you very much for joining us on this show. And first off, we're going to make this very informal, but what we wanted to do was just give you the opportunity to tell everybody about how you became involved in 13 Fanboy and your involvement in general. Like what's kind of on the horizon for what you can spill the beans on.
Right? There's even stuff that like they're not telling any of us. Deborah's being very hush-hush. She wants everybody to be a surprise at the end. So even the people in it don't get to know everything that's going on, which I think is super exciting because being a fan myself, I'm like, yes, like I wanna be surprised. I wanna be scared, you know? But a lot of fans kept messaging me and telling me, Deborah's doing this project, you really need to be a part of it. And I'm like, what are they talking about? You know? So then I started researching it, and then I started seeing it just popping up everywhere. And Deborah finally messaged me, and I told her, I was like, everyone kept telling me to call you, but I wasn't going to be like, hey, can I be in your project? You know, that's kind of weird. But like, if she hadn't messaged me when she did, I probably would have been like, why? Why am I not in this? But yeah.
Excellent. So, okay, so it happened. She messaged you,
Yes.
and things have gone
they
forward.
they had been trying to get a hold of me for a little while, and I'm not very good at checking Messenger. You know, so if you don't have my phone number, like chances are I didn't see it. And then just randomly one day I was like, you know what, I should answer some fans. I do that randomly, you know, where I'll take like an hour and just talk to people. And she happened to pop up, and I was like, wait, what? But she had messaged me on my Facebook page. I had posted something, and she actually put it in the comments. And so kind of gave it away a little bit. She was like, hey, I really want to talk to you. And so a couple people were like, I thought so, but I wasn't sure, but I thought so.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's great.
Super stoked that you did.
Well, absolutely. Now, we were just kind of talking about this briefly. So you live in Hawaii, but you're currently...
Well, I live in Newport Beach now.
Okay.
But Maui is my home. All my stuff is still on Maui. I was not expecting to be out here this long. My grandparents are in the 80s, so they're late 80s. So I came out to just be around for holidays and whatnot. And here I am, still here.
Excellent. And
I just went back in November for a visit.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to be on the mainland for a little bit longer because you guys are going to be filming starting when?
Yes.
When are you jumping on?
Well, we're still in pre-production. My phone's trying to die. We're still in pre-production. Does it say Jenny Banko? I will slap you silly. Are you kidding me? I hate Jenny.
Not
Does
us.
it really say that?
No, not us.
I want to kill you guys.
No, not us. We didn't say it. Nope, that's not us. We didn't say it.
Jenny is a slut's name, and I'm not a slut.
Nope.
Okay, so when I was younger, my mom was like, people can call you Jen, they can call you Jenna, they can call you Jennifer, but don't ever let anybody call you Jenny because Jenny's a slut's name. So my whole life, if anybody called me Jenny, I would literally almost kill them because my mom embedded it in my brain. You know, when you're younger, you believe everything your parents say. So I was convinced that if somebody called me Jenny, I was going to become a slut.
Nope, that is not. We have not posted anything like that. Not at all. Excellent. Wow. So
sorry, guys.
No worries. So assuming you're gonna end up probably going back to Maui for a little bit before you guys actually start production.
Probably not.
Okay.
But we're still in pre-production. There's still parts that are being written. There's still more people being added. Deborah and I are supposed to have a session about my character. She kind of wants the characters to actually resemble our real lives and our interests and the things that we're into and the things that we do in our real lives. So we've got a thing planned to go ahead and put our brains together and see what we can come up with. So
nice.
I'm excited about that.
Is your character going to be named Jennifer Banko, or are you going?
I don't. Well, she's a fictional character of me, so I don't know.
Tim, don't poke. Don't poke.
See, here's the thing. I have so much respect for Deborah that I don't want to give away anything where she would be mad at me later.
Oh, yeah.
So what did she say?
she didn't really elaborate on that part of it. She really just kind of told us in this wonderful, a scary story, but how it turned out to be a wonderful, attempt at making something better from it. So that's where that kind of came from. So. Yeah,
so I've only gotten to read the short script. I haven't even been able to read the long script. She hasn't even sent that to me yet. So,
lots of surprises, even for the actors and actresses.
Yes, but I mean, what I have read is so real. You know what I mean? She keeps comparing it to a Hush or a Cape Fear.
Yeah.
Oh. Where this shit can really happen. And then the killings, the 80s killings, from the Friday the 13th movies that all of us horror fans love and live for. So
yes, we are fans.
I'm excited. Yes, I am one of them. I am one of these. I have a couple of friends that are in acting. My one friend just got I don't know if I'm allowed to say this either, but they're doing a reboost of Veronica Mars, and he's going to be doing that until March, and he's so excited about this movie. He was like, yes, I can't wait. Keep it posted.
That's fantastic. So, I mean, just speaking about that, because, we're not going to be able to really get into much more detail because this is a lot of hush-hush, but we're very happy about your involvement with this, and we can't wait to see how further this goes as well.
I'm super excited.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're all excited. But you have had an interesting history in horror in general. So, you played young Tina.
I did.
In part 7. How was that? How was that?
That was amazing. It was so amazing. It was the first movie I ever auditioned for. I got it. I thought this was so easy. It's not that easy. But it was amazing working with Kate Hodder. I'm excited that he's attached to this film as well. We shot on location. I got to work with Terry Kaiser, who's amazing. Everybody was so wonderful. It was really cold. It was a lot of late nights, really, really late nights to where my mom was ready to call Screen Actors Guild and get me taken out of there.
Wow.
Yeah. They worked me a lot of 12 and 16 hours like I'm supposed to, But it was amazing. I had an amazing experience. How cool is it as a kid to be able to work on such an amazing project that is so scary, and they allowed my brother to come to set. They showed us how everything worked. They didn't want me to be scared, and wouldn't you know it, when I watched the movie for the premiere, I was still scared, and I knew everything that was about to happen,
Nice.
Growing up, did you have your friends talk about Friday the 13th and how scary it was and be like, oh yeah, no, I was there, no big deal?
Well, once it came out, everybody knew, I didn't really tell anybody at first, but people's parents went to see it, and then they're like, I think your friend Jennifer's in this movie, So I got around school really fast. Really fast.
Hey there, it's Deborah Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Part 5, and you are listening to They Cast from the Coast.
Died a couple times during the filming of that. Yeah.
Okay, well, you can't leave us hanging.
Yeah, you got to elaborate on that.
Yeah, really.
Come on.
So the scene where I'm in the boat, they could see the tow line, and the director was like, no, we can see the tow line. You've got to cut it. So they cut the tow line, and when they cut the tow line, I started drifting downstream. My phone's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I started drifting downstream, and I'm like, bye, Mom. Bye, Mom. Freaking out. My mom's like, get her out of there. And there was they had an alligator wrestler come and get an alligator out of the same water the day before. And then they had killer moccasin snakes.
Yeah.
And they had divers that were in suits ready to dive in and get me anything ever happened, they were supposed to hold the boat from the underneath. And they were like, we're not getting in the water. This is your job, people. Like, what do you mean you're not getting in the water? So as I'm drifting downstream, Kane Hodder just grabbed like a big piece of wood and a big stick and just put it on the water and came out and rescued me, put me back. Like, he's my hero.
Kane Hodder, the hero. This is great.
Nice.
So everybody's like asking me, they're like, because there was, they had an alligator racer come in and get an alligator out of that water the day before, and they're like, what would have happened if the alligator would have came up and got you? I'm like, duh, the scream would have been real,
That's amazing. So, I mean, so you did Friday the 13th, and that's, we all, seen you and love you for it, but you also did another incredible horror movie during that time period.
Yes.
You did Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
I got to play his daughter.
Like, wow. I honestly remember sitting there reading the Fangoria magazines with pictures of you holding the doll and the shank.
So if anybody asks, like, what is the accomplishment that you're most proud of? Being in Fangoria magazine is definitely it. That is that was like, when that happened, I was like, I've made it.
Well, you got Tim here. You got Tim here representing.
Like, I had $1 million developmental deal in there in spelling. I was doing 2 TV shows for him at once, and still to this day, being in Fangoria magazine is my end-all be-all for sure.
Yeah, no, that would definitely be a top of the list for any of us, that's for sure.
So in Texas Chainsaw, I was actually supposed to come back as what is happening? I'm doing weird stuff. I don't know what's happening, guys. Am I on camera?
You turned the camera around.
I'm on. What's happening? I don't know how to do this.
There you are.
I mean, there I am. Okay. So you got to see the mess that the maids are gonna be.
We've seen a lamp. That was it. We seen a lamp. We're good.
Okay, good. Am I getting red? Okay, so Texas Chainsaw, the original ending. I was supposed to come back as the killer. I killed in the movie. It got rated X 3 times because of my part. That is my triple X claim to fame. And so Kate Hodge had this amazing scene at the end. The original ending was she's in the middle of nowhere. She's like, basically like almost dying, but she's getting away, and she sees a cop car and she's so excited. And then up pops me and Sally out of the back seat in the cop car, and Kate Hodge had this scene where she just lost it, just like laughing and crying. And like, I remember like I had goosebumps. Like, it was such an amazing scene. And I'm so sad that people didn't get to see that scene. I think at the time they just weren't ready for a kid to be killing, I think if it was like a couple years later, they would have been ready for it. This was before cable. Cable kind of opened people's eyes to a lot of stuff. And, people, still out here, I think, as opposed to like in Europe and stuff, we're still pretty behind the times as to what we'll accept and what we are willing to allow, on our TVs and in the theater. And I'm still waiting for the naked weather girls. This is the second time I've said that.
Oh, fantastic. All right. So now's a little bit of an open floor time period. So if anybody else here has any questions for Jennifer,
do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I do. Before getting into the role of young Tina in Friday the 13th, because, you were young doing the role. You were what, 10, 11, 12 maybe?
I was 10 during that one, yeah.
10. So had you been exposed to any Friday the 13th movies before that, or did you just go in blind and you were just auditioning for this role? And
no, my parents are horror fans, so I already kind of knew what I was getting myself into.
So you knew, the franchise, you knew the popularity of it. So you were probably pretty excited then for that audition.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. Stoked. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I was stoked. I went into my interview. I got in front of the director and producer, and I was like, "Excuse me, I need my moment." I turned to my back. I turned to my back, and I turned back around, just like crying. And I think they were sold. I think in that moment they were like sold. And I was the first person in. At the last interview. I was the first person in, and usually you don't want to be the first person in because they forget about you along the way because they interview everyone else afterwards. And so the fact that I was the first one in and I still got it, like my mom was like hugging me, like crying, I'm so proud of you. Thanks, Mom. Weird.
Nice.
Very supportive horror fans.
You were part of Friday the 13th series, obviously, and part of the Chainsaw series. What's your other favorite horrors outside of those two series, I guess? If you're
Saw.
Ooh,
Nice.
Very nice. Gotta love the Saw movies.
Yeah.
Excellent. All
Yeah.
right.
That's some twisted, that's some sick twisted shit right there.
Oh yeah.
Sick twisted shizit. Yep. All right. Any other questions for Jennifer here? No? Okay.
No? Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I like long walks on the beach.
Well, that's absolutely phenomenal. So we're not going to hold much more of your time here because you've got stuff to do and we've all got places to be at this point. So Jennifer.
Yeah, I apologize about this morning, you guys. And I mean, I would love to come back on again when I know a little bit, when I can give away a little more detail on stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely working out some things with Deborah to try to maybe further this when things get more into fruition. Production starts or the release is happening or whatever have you. So this will not be the last time that we talk to Jennifer Banko. There's no doubt.
Well, I'm also trying to talk her into doing some things, some live things or some recorded things when we have a few of us together, when we're like actually like in production, you know.
Definitely. We'd be happy to facilitate getting those done for you guys too. So we'll get a bunch of you guys on set and
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think it would be really amazing to be able to get all the different kinds of opinions and stuff and, you know.
Well, I think that we got something big to look forward to there. So
yay.
Excellent.
My phone keeps doing weird things. Okay, sorry.
Well, that's okay because we're gonna wrap it up anyway, so that way you can kind of get back to your waiting time right now for whatever's happening this morning with you. So
I have like the maids are coming, and then I've got to go get a white elephant gift. Like I don't know what to get. Like I kind of feel like I want to get a dildo. Or like something like super embarrassing, you know.
But the thing is, though, is that you need to hide it in. You need to hide it in.
Some of the women are older, you know, and so like
But that's what I'm
got
saying.
Any ideas? Any suggestions?
You get something
on how I can embarrass these women.
And you hide it in a pot, and you tape the pot lid to it, so they can't see what's inside.
Yes.
And then nobody wants the pot. And then somebody ends up with it at the very end, and there you go. There's an extra gift inside of it, and that's the real gift.
Yes. Perfect.
There you go.
So thank you very much, Jennifer, for joining us. And we want to say goodbye. So say goodbye to all the fans out there, please.
Aloha. I love you guys. Mwah, mwah.
Excellent. And until next time, Josh.
See you later.
Tim.
Stay spooky.
Dave.
Have a good night.
Aloha.
See you later, everybody. Thanks for joining us.